Hello boys and girls, this week in English we are going to be writing our very own poem. So a poem is a piece of writing that uses imaginative words, and we often write a poem to share maybe ideas, feelings or even a story to the person who is reading it. So this week we are going to be writing our very own poem using our imagination. Does anybody know what it means when we use our imagination? It means that we are going to think of lots of creative ideas. We're going to really think outside the box. And we often use our imagination when we are writing fictional stories. So this week for our poem, we're going to think back to the streets of 1666 and imagine what it was like during the Great Fire of London. So the type of poem we are going to be writing this week is called an Imagine a poem. And we're going to have a look at an example together before we have a go at planning our very own poem. Here is the example of the Imagine a poem we are going to look at together. And the title of this poem is called Imagine a Woods. So let's have a read of this poem together. Imagine an enchanting woods where the brown leaves floated off the branches and started to dance. Imagine an extraordinary woods where a tall oak tree is opening its wooden doors to let you in for tea. Imagine a marvellous woods where the wild hungry birds are eating revolting slithery snakes that are slithering through the oozy mud. Imagine a wonderful woods where a precious, unique flower is gently opening its petals to play a peaceful tune. Imagine a vast woods where exotic creatures are playing hide and seek with one another. So children, the title of our Imagine a poem is going to be Imagine a Street, because we are going to be taking ourselves back in time to 1666 during the Great Fire of London. So we are going to plan some ideas, mind map some ideas that we can use to describe and include in our very own poem. So during the Great Fire of London, I know that there were lots of people that would have been running around the streets trying to escape the fire. So I think they would be feeling very terrified, these people. They might even be crying. So I think we can describe the people who are going to be in the streets. I'm then going to think back to the houses. We've learnt lots of information about the style of the houses. So I think one of them might be that we could describe the door onto one of those houses. We might open that door and what might we find inside? Remember children, we are going to be using our imagination, so what we write in our poem might not be real. So I'm then thinking I could describe the roof tiles of the house. Again, using my imagination, I might think that they are made out of Cocoa Pops. I might think they are made out of fluffy, gooey marshmallows. So I then am thinking I might be able to describe the tiny panes of glass, so the windows. I'm then thinking I might be able to describe the road. So the road might be made out of something rather than cobbles, which I know it is made out of. I'm going to use my imagination and I might change that as well. I'm then thinking that the people in 1666 used horse and carts to get around. So I'm thinking I'm going to use my imagination and I might change how they get around. So horse and cart. So we are going to use these ideas. We've taken things back from the streets and the houses from 1666, and we are going to really think outside the box, use our great imagination, and we're going to now look at our plan together. This is the plan that we are going to use to help us with our ideas for our Imagine a Street poem. So we have got 6 boxes. And I'm going to use the ideas that I came up here on my mind map, and I'm going to really use my imagination because I'm going to change what these things are going to be. So I think I might start with the road. And I know the road in 1666, or the street, was made out of cobbles. But I am going to use my fantastic imagination and I'm going to change that. So instead of it being made out of cobbles, it might be that your street is made out of an ice rink. Your street might be made into a river. I think it could be made out of lots of trampolines. But Miss Billick has decided that my street is going to be made out of lava. So what we need to do is we're going to draw a quick picture in that box of what the road is going to look like. So I'm just going to do a quick sketch. Remember, no laughing at Miss Billick's drawings. We have always try our best. That's all we ask for. So that's going to be my street, and then I'm just going to do some ripples in it, and then later on I will then colour that in to make it look like lava. But before I move on, I've got to think of some amazing adjectives to describe the lava. So rather than just saying the lava in my poem, I'm going to use some wow words, some adjectives to describe. So I think I'm going to use thick, red, boiling lava. And I'm just going to jot this down on my plan so I can use it when I come to write my poem. Thick, red, boiling lava. And remember, children, that is an expanded noun phrase because we've used adjectives to describe a noun. Okay, so I've done my road. Now I'm going to go back to my plan, and now I'm going to think about the door on one of the houses. Okay, so I've got to imagine when I open the door to that house or that building, what do I step into? So it could be that I step into space. It could be that when I open that door, I step into a candy land, or I step into a circus. Miss Billick is going to step into a magical wonderland, and it's going to be full of chocolate waterfalls and rivers and bouncy, squishy marshmallows. So I'm going to do a quick sketch of my door, and I'm going to describe it's going to be a wooden door. And then I'm going to draw my wonderland, which is going to be beyond the door. So I'm going to draw my chocolate waterfall. Remember, it's just a quick sketch, and then I can add all my colour in later on. The main thing is getting your ideas down and those fantastic adjectives. And then I might have some trees that are made out of candy floss. Okay, so I'm going to write here, it's going to be not just a wonderland, it's going to be a magical wonderland. Okay, so it's really important we get our adjectives down because they're going to really help us with when we come to write it in a couple of days. So I've got my magical wonderland, and then I might just use some words, some adjectives to describe the chocolate waterfall. So I might use the words delicious, oozy chocolate. So then that will really help me when I come to write it. Okay, let's go back to my plan. So far I have done the road and I have done the door. Now I'm going to think about the roof tiles. Okay, so instead of the roof tiles being made, the roof being made out of straw or clay tiles like they were in 1666, let's really think outside the box and what could our roof be made out of? So it could be that your roof is made out of Smarties, or it could be made out of jelly beans or donuts or bubble gum. So remember, you've really got to use that fantastic imagination that I know all of you have got. So I'm going to draw my roof, and then Miss Billick's roof is going to be made out of candy canes. So I'm going to quickly draw on my roof some candy canes. And then I've got to think of some adjectives that I could use to describe the candy canes. So, I think that I'm going to use sticky, and my candy canes are going to be very colourful, so I'm going to use rainbow candy canes. So children, in today's lesson we are just planning our first 3 boxes, okay? So I would like you to plan what your road is going to be, okay? So think really carefully, use that fantastic imagination. Then I want you to plan your door, so when you step inside one of those houses or one of those buildings, where have you entered? And then, what is the roof made out of, okay? And really think carefully about those adjectives. So then, once you have done your quick sketches and your adjectives, you can then go and colour in your plan. So by the end of today, hopefully your plan will look something like this. Now remember children, these are just Miss Billick's ideas for her plan. I want you to use the key words at the top, so you're going to be changing the road, the door and the roof. But remember, this is your plan and your poem. So I would like you to think of your own fantastic ideas and some brilliant adjectives to go with it. Then remember, we're just doing the first 3 boxes today, and then tomorrow we will finish our plan with the last 3 boxes. So we can't wait to see your fantastic ideas, children, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!